Hello everyone, this is my chair class. So it's a combination of yoga and Pilates moves and techniques that I've adapted for use in the chair. So what are we going to need? Well, a chair, obviously. I've got a high back chair here. You want something that doesn't lean back too far, so it's a fairly upright chair. Nice flat seat, and preferably no sides. And then I'm going to use two cushions, two just ordinary sofa cushions, a pillow and a scarf. Now the pillow is going to go behind me and I'm going to sit on one of the cushions, and then I'm going to keep this other cushion for later on, so I can just pop that under the chair. And I'm going to leave the scarf around the back. So if you sit yourself down into the chair and move your hips quite far back, and then hopefully your pillow will help you to sit nice and upright through your spine. Now down on the floor, I've got my toes in line with my knees and my knees in line with my hips. If when you sit down you feel that your knees are sloping a long way away from you, then maybe it would be a good idea to lift your feet slightly and maybe put them on a small box, something like that, so you feel your knees at this point are a little bit more lifted. So I'm going to lift up through my spine, lift up through my chest, and start to roll my shoulders. I want to stay feeling nice and tall, and to help me do that, I'm going to start using my core muscles. So I'm lightly going to draw my navel, my belly button, back in towards my spine, just a little, so it feels a little firmer down in the lower part of the abdomen. And we're going to let the shoulders lift up a bit higher, and we're going to give the shoulder blades a really good squeeze back as the elbows move back. Let's come into our breathing. Let's take a breath in and exhale. A nice deep full breath. And breathing out. Let's do this 4 more times. Inhale and exhale. And just 1 more time. Good. Let your shoulders relax down. We'll bring the chin down towards the chest, and then we'll take a look up towards the ceiling. Take a breath and exhale as you look down, and then breathe in as you look upwards. Keep your mouth closed. Breathing out and breathing in, and 1 more time. Breathing out and breathing in. And eyes to the front. Let's bring the ear towards the shoulder on one side, and then on the other side. Keep the chest lifted and keep the shoulders still. And just feel one side of your neck bending as you allow the other side of your neck to stretch. Once more, each side. And centre. Have a look over your shoulder. Then take a breath and look over the other shoulder and breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. And 1 more to each side. A little bit stretchy, but not uncomfortably so. And back to the centre. Some little half rolls, chin down, roll to one shoulder, drop and roll to the other shoulder. Try and keep your chest nice and lifted. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And once more to each side. Back to the centre and eyes to the front. Take hold of one side of your chair and with your other arm reach down towards the ground. And then breathe in and breathe out to the other side. When you inhale, lift your collarbones as high as you can and breathe out. Now I'm not trying to do a twist here, I'm literally side bending. So I'm keeping myself facing forwards and I can feel the muscles on one side contract whilst the other side stretch. Now keep your navel drawn to your spine and just see if you can stretch out a little bit further. So wherever the edges of your room are, just pretending you're reaching out towards them. Stretch. Good. And two more. Breathe out and breathe in. Breathe out and breathe in. Rest your hand on your opposite leg and with your palm lifted, just imagine you're passing something to someone standing behind you. And then come back and let that hand hold the other leg. Lift your palm and watch your thumb. So breathe in, hold the opposite leg and breathe out. And draw in your navel as you twist. You want to stay looking at your hand, so watch it. Now this time we're going to hold the position. So I'm going to take this hand to the back of my chair. If the back of your chair was rather high, you might be able to rest your arm on top or take your arm a bit lower down to the side of your chair. Take a breath in and lift up tall, and as you breathe out, with your shoulder girdle, just turn. Now while you're in this twist, think of growing even taller every time you take a breath in. When you breathe out, drawing in the navel, think of the shoulders just easing round. And then we'll breathe in to come back to the centre. So take another breath and we'll go the other way. So I'm going to take the other hand to the back of the chair. Got my hand on my opposite leg here and I'm going to sit tall as I breathe in and then just use the shoulders to draw me round into that twist with my upper back. Shoulders are down, chest feels lifted, roof of the head feels lifted. Just breathing into it, lengthening on the in-breath, thinking about the twist on the out-breath. Good. Bringing your hands back to the front and interlacing your fingers, and then just pressing your back in towards the back of the chair or your pillow, and dropping your chin. Now reaching right up as tall as you possibly can. If you've got shoulder issues, you might need to bend your elbows. And then opening the arms and opening the chest. Taking a deep breath in. So bringing the hands forward and pressing the upper back into the chair and exhaling. Breathing in, sitting up as tall as you can. Breathing out, letting it go. Take a breath in. Exhale, chin down. Breathe in. Really reaching high. Let that go. Lift your chest. You can lift your chin slightly if you like, that's quite nice. We'll do it 2 more times. Think about your shoulder blades. Open them apart from each other. And now let your shoulder blades squeeze towards each other as you lift your chest. Let's do that 1 more time. So, hands forward. Up and open. Good. Take your opposite hand onto the side of your opposite leg and this time reach upwards and back. Holding the opposite leg again with the other hand, reach upwards It's like you're pointing out something that's high and behind you. Breathing in. Drawing in the navel on that rotation. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And hands back. Good. We're going to take the tip forwards with a flat back. You might find your pillow comes out when you do this, so if it starts to annoy you, maybe just put it on the floor. I'm going to lift my arms up, and I'm going to tip forwards into a fold from my hips. So I'm not trying to round my back. Shoulder problems? Maybe have your arms a little lower. Now I'm going to bring my hands to rest on my legs, and they could go below my knees or above my knees. And I'm just going to fold a little bit more, still keeping the back really long. So I'm pushing my tailbone back into the chair whilst I'm feeling like my chest is being pulled forwards by an invisible string. Then I'm going to have a little rest in this position. So I might want to just rest a tiny bit deeper and take the weight into my arms there on my thighs. Or if you find this comfortable, you can come down even deeper. Now we're going to take a breath in to lift ourselves back up. So draw in your navel and rise. And stretch right up. Good. Now tip forwards with that lovely long flat back. And then let your hands come to rest above or below your knees. Tip forwards a little bit more, keeping the back lovely and long. And then either take your rest position here or come down a bit deeper with me. Now let's breathe into our back 3 times. Imagine you could see the back of your top, and you can see it broadening when you breathe in, and then just coming back to its original size when you breathe out. In the back of your hips, and the back of your ribs. Good. We're going to do this twice more, so let's take a deep breath and rise as high as we can. Breathe out and come into your fold position, arms lower if you need to. It's chair pose. And folding a little bit deeper, pushing the hips back, feeling really reached forward through the chest. And then either stay here or come down. Breathe into your back 3 times, open it up. On the out breath, see if you can relax a little more, either down into your legs or in towards your arms. And last time, let's reach up and breathe in. And forwards. And let those hands rest. Just come forwards a little bit more with that beautiful long back. And then take your rest position here, softening in when you breathe out, or down to here. And slowly coming up. Let's move ourselves slightly forward, so you might want to take your pillow out. Mine's on the way out, so I can see at the back there. So just bring yourself forward, and if you've had your feet on a little rest to lift your knees a bit higher, you can just pop that back behind you and tuck it under your chair. So we're going to do some zigzags now so we can waken up our hip joints. So we're going to open up the toes, then the heels, and then the toes. So it's a little bit stretchy around the groin. And then we're going to bring back the toes, then the heels, and the toes. So we're back where we started, sitting up nice and tall. So we're going to go toes and heels and toes and toes and heels and toes. And again, toes and heels and toes and toes and heels and toes. Now let's go first with the heels. Heels, toes, heels. Oh, feels a bit different. Heels, toes, heels. So heels, toes, heels, feeling something around here, heels, toes, heels, one more like this, heels, toes, heels, back, heels, toes, heels. Now we're going to do that again, heels, toes, heels, and then toes, so we're really nice and wide. We're going to come forwards, resting our hands into our thighs, just behind our knees. We're going to push the hips back, and again, feel a lot of length through the spine. So I'm not trying to round my back. I want to feel really long. I'm going to bring my opposite shoulder towards the other leg and take a breath and lift. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm aiming my shoulder towards the opposite leg. Breathe in and sit up. So breathe out and breathe in. This should give us a nice stretch down the sides of our back, and it will help us to stretch the groin as well. Breathing out and breathing in. Try not to let your knee fold inwards. You might find your knee wants to drop. Try and keep it in the same position so the legs don't change at all. Good. Lovely. And one last time. Good. And now I'm going to slide my hand down towards my ankle and lift nice and tall and breathe in. And I'm going to slide down towards the ankle. We might not get to the ankle, but we're heading in that direction. So coming on down. Start to lift this elbow if you like. So the arms are an option. You could just leave the hand on your leg if you wanted to. If it's feeling all right though with the elbow lifted, you might want to lift the elbow and then open your arm up and then come back down. So lifting the elbow, stay with that, or open the arm up and rise. So coming down and opening. Again, down and opening. Down and opening. Well done. Let's bring my feet back in again. So I'm going to pick up my other pillow now. I'm going to stay sitting quite forward for this, and I'm going to make this into a little pad that I can squeeze. So I've folded it in half and I'm going to pop it between my thighs. Put it sort of nearer to your knees because some of us have a bit of a gap here and won't be able to squeeze it quite so hard. So we're going to squeeze nice and tightly so we can feel the inner thighs working, and then we're going to release. And we're going to use the pelvic floor as well, so let's squeeze our sit bones towards each other as we do this, and then release. Squeeze your sit bones together right inside your buttocks, like they're pulling inwards. They can't, but it feels like they are. Good. Now, as you do that, think about your pubic bone at the front and your tailbone at the back, and squeeze them towards each other, underneath you, as if they're coming towards each other and trying to lift up. And release. It's a little bit like that feeling when you need to spend a penny and have to hold on for a bit. Take a breath. Breathe out. So, this, sit bones, pubic bone and tailbone, and release. Let's do it 3 more times. So squeezing in. This is something you can really easily practice at home. Squeezing and releasing. Once or twice more. And release. Good. So we can pop that down. And let's just go back to where we were with our feet quite wide. So I'm still sitting quite far forward on my chair. Now I'm going to leave my right foot turning to the right, but I'm going to stretch my left leg away from me. It's quite straight. If you need to have your knee bent a little bit though, that's fine. And this knee's above the ankle. And I'm going to bring my arms up into Warrior 2. So the shoulders are down, but the arms are really reaching away from each other, but the shoulder blades feel like they're drawing towards each other. And then from here, I'm going to go to Sun Warrior, Reverse Warrior. So I'm going to take the hand down to find the side of my chair, or maybe even a chair leg, and I'm going to reach back over myself. I'm trying to pull these thigh muscles up on this leg here, so my knee feels a bit stronger. And then I'm going to bring this arm to rest on my leg, and I'm going to let this arm come over towards my ear. It's really straight like a blade. It's not in front of me, it's next to my ear. Good, let's go back into Warrior 2 again on this side. So your fingertips are really reaching away from each other, your chest is lifted. Then you're going to go to Sun Warrior, so find the side or the leg of your chair and then just reach over your head as you pull up this thigh nice nice and strongly. And then we'll bring that arm down. And as we go into the extended side angle pose, you could leave the arm on the leg, or you could come down a little bit deeper if that felt nice. Okay, so come up. Let's do that one more time. So opening your chest, lifting right up. Going into your reverse warrior, your sun warrior, holding onto the chair down there with the lower hand, stretching over, and then coming into extended side angle pose. Either resting your forearm on your leg or sliding down a bit deeper if that feels nice. Well done. Come back to the centre. Let's just bring our legs in for a moment and walk our feet. Shoulders a bit of a roll. Now I'm going to cross my right leg over my left leg. I've done it at the ankle, which is slightly easier. If you're able to do it a little bit higher, then do. And attempt to bring that foot in a little bit closer. And then we'll go back into a seated twist. So I'm just going to rest this arm against that top leg and gently press against it to help me turn round. Again, feeling tall when you're breathing in, and thinking about that twist when you breathe out. Good. We'll do the other side of that in a moment. So let's bring ourselves back out to where we were so we can do our warrior poses on the other side. So we've got the knee above the ankle here over on this leg now, and that one's stretching away from us over there. Good. So we're going to start with the arms lifted. The chest isn't, so try not to lean at the moment. Stay right in the middle of the pose. So your shoulders are above your hips. Your arms are really straight and strong, and your shoulder blades are just creeping in towards each other as you lift your chest. Now I'm going to that sun warrior, so holding onto the chair, wherever you can manage, seat or leg, and reach over. Good. And then bringing that hand to rest on the thigh, or the forearm on the thigh, and stretch over. Nice and straight, and remember we don't want to twist, so we keep the arm back next to the ear. Good. Let's go back to warrior two. Shoulders down, chest up, sit in the centre of the pose. Then we reverse. We go back over again, really reaching. Looking to lift. And press that forearm. We can press slightly against that leg so it opens the chest back slightly. And some of us might want to just creep down a little bit lower into this pose. Stay up higher if it feels better for you though. And one more time. So into warrior two. Feeling really nice and strong, open. Good. Let's reverse. Sun warrior. Let's shield our faces from the sun. Reach back. And then come up and over for our last extended side angle pose. And hold it here, or creep down a little bit further towards your ankle if that feels good. And lift. Good. Let's just bring our feet in. And we'll repeat our seated twist. So I'm going to cross over this leg now, the other one, and I can just cross at the ankle and squeeze my knees close, or I can cross the leg over and try to bring this foot in a little bit closer. So I feel like I'm rolling my thighs in towards each other. Then I'm going to go around to the back of the chair, and I'm going to turn using my shoulders when I exhale. So I'm going to breathe in and grow taller, and breathe out and twist. Feeling those thighs rolling towards each other. And come back to the centre. Good. Okay. Let's just do a little bit of core work now. So I'm going to reach the right leg forwards. Lift up my left arm. Well, opposite arm and leg. Opposite arm and leg. Doesn't matter which ones. Other side. I'm going to flex my foot, so I'm working my ankle joint. Excellent. So we want to keep the core engaged. We want to draw the navel into the spine. We try to leave the shoulder still and move the arm in the shoulder joint. Now I'm going to do 2 singles and then I'm going to do a double. Maybe try it with legs alone first, or if you find this is too much, feel free to carry on with the singles. So let's do an opposite arm and leg and another one, and then both legs, possibly both arms. Good. Let's do it one more time. Opposite arm and leg. You might find it's easier if you sit further back in your chair. And last go. Good. Leave the arm up here and bring this knee towards it. Take a breath and breathe out. If you can't quite lift your knee, that's okay. You can still do the twist using your elbow. Okay? Use your out breath and draw in your navel. Let's do 3 more. And let's change sides. So breathing out, breathing in. Sitting up nice and tall between each repetition, and just 3 more if you can. Move slightly to the side and take this leg back behind you and hold on firmly to the side of your chair. Take the leg back as far as you can get it to go and then stretch up. You can have your toes on the floor like this, or you can rest on your toenails if you prefer, and press forward through your hips, stretching high to the sky. Good. Come back and let's change sides. So take this leg back. I'm going to hold on really firmly to this side of the chair, and I'm going to take this leg back and either rest on my toenails or on my toes, so I can do like this or like this, whichever feels comfortable, and take the leg back as far as it will go, and then as you lift up through your arm, press forward through your hip bone and the top of your thigh, because we're stretching out our hip flexor muscles here. Good. Lovely. Let's find that scarf. Pop your pillow in behind you if it fell out. We're going to stretch our hamstrings. So we'll put the scarf around the ball of one of our feet. A belt would work just as well, really. And we'll bring the air up, the leg up into the air for a stretch. So drawing down the elbows and lifting up the chest, and bring the leg into a position where you can feel an active stretch in the back of your thigh that isn't pulling you forwards. Yeah, and it's not making your leg shake either, but you can feel there's a stretch going on. Good. Excellent. Let's do the other leg. So bring this one up. So chest lifted, elbows down, shoulder blades down as well. So your hands feel quite strong because they've got to hold your leg in position, but you can rest your front thigh muscles a bit here. Normally speaking, without a support here, they'd be working, but they don't have to work too hard because you're helping them. Nice deep breaths. And release. Good. We'll just put that scarf down. So, let's get back to where we started. And now really press your spine back. And as you open, see if you can slightly open more. Tuck the chin down a fraction. We don't want to throw our heads back here. That would be uncomfortable for our necks. So, stretching your back, and then stretching and opening your chest. Deep breath and relax. The backs of your hands, just just softly resting onto your legs. Fingers are just softly curled. Close your eyes if you like. Just sit nice and tall. Let your back rest a little into that pillow behind you. And just feel your breath. Draw it deep down into your belly. Open it out into your ribs.